Hello and welcome back to the original Deus Ex. Tonight we'll be loading up where we left off. Last time, our brother Paul Denton apparently couldn't complete his mission properly. That's going to make things very confusing for us. So now we've found ourselves back into Battery Park to try and figure out what exactly went on. There's we're back here sooner than I was expecting. Like I mentioned, I thought this is one of the areas we don't return to for quite some time.
We sure appreciate the help tonight, Agent.
Alright, let me just check the controls here. Not those, here, our keyboard mouse set up. The inventory again. Access inventory, the I button. Alright, here it is. Wondering why I was pressing it and didn't show up before. Okay, goals. Locate the airfield where the NSF has moved the Ambrosia. Investigate the subway system because there may be more enemies hiding underground. Gotcha. Alright, let's go through Battery Park. See what I can find, and anything I can pick up, that would be quite nice because that increases my vision for some reason. Or I could go with beer.
Oh.
Beer.
Oh, thank you again. My hands get so cold.
And like I said, we'll probably both get kicked out when whoever it is gets back. I live underground.
All the same.
All the beggars can't be choosers. I suppose there are a bunch of choosing beggars. More beers. I don't think this is gonna feel enough to be worth it, but I guess it's worth having.
Thanks again for the key.
It wasn't a favor. I was well paid.
A real patriot.
I see it like this. It all balances out. UNATCO's just as much gun freaks as the militias, and if everybody's gonna shoot it out, fine, so long as neither side wins and takes over the whole country.
The goal of UNATCO is not conquest. It's the safety of ordinary people like yourself.
I know an army when I see one. Look, I'll be blunt. Got any cash? There's a secret passage behind that phone booth over there. For 500, I'll tell you where to get the code.
Sure. 500 for where I can find the code to the phone booth.
Talk to Curly in the shantytown in Battery Park. He's from the Mole People settlement. You have to give him the password, Underworld.
The NSF are allied with the Mole People?
They both hate the feds, but that's it. The moles don't want a war. They just want to be left alone in their tunnels.
Aiding and sympathizing. Just as bad as being a terrorist yourself, in my opinion.
I doubt the NSF gave them much choice.
He's got a good point. NSF probably decided to whip out the good old-fashioned gunboat diplomacy, if you know what I mean. Unfortunately, it's very hard to say no to a situation like that, and this guy said he lived
Think it's true, the vaccine they got? Think it'd really kill you?
It's super concentrated. I heard the NSF talking. They're gonna process it, though.
I hope so. I can't go much longer.
I imagine they're probably going to try and reverse engineer it to find...
You Curly?
Yeah, what do you want?
I heard you have the code to the phone booth in the subway.
You want to go down to the Brooklyn Bridge station? That's near the Mole People settlement. You need the Mole password.
Why the name Mole People?
They call us that because we live underground. Like they're some kind of superior beings or something because they got more money than we do.
Oh, so it's a nickname.
Underworld is the password.
Why didn't you say so? The phone code's MOLE. That's 665
I'm
Thanks.
going to remember that.
Oh, when you get to the Brooklyn Bridge station, talk to Charlie. He'll get you into the tunnels where we live.
What about the mole settlement? You taking new people?
Well, it's not the best time. Not right now.
I don't mind. I'd sleep in the dirt, whatever.
The thing is, they've got this policy. No one with the Gray Death can go past Brooklyn Bridge Station.
Oh, I see.
I'm sorry, miss, really.
No need. No, I understand.
One hand, it's hard to blame them for wanting to take precautions, but on the other, quite a few of those people have nowhere else to go. Should be done.
Hey, you a cop? The terrorists got away.
Oh.
We lost the battle today. I admit it. Yes, Lord.
You with the NSF?
Had myself a division, mind you, back when we were the Northwest Secessionist Forces. Years ago. They thought they had us licked. Like they think they have us licked tonight. But look at me, young sir. We're God's army. And what infernal devil can stop God's army?
Well, you take care of yourself.
Found me two 30-06 clips. Now all I need's a gun, and then it's me and Satan. Yes, Satan. One last look into the devil's red eyes.
Sounds like you served God admirably in the Northwest War. But maybe you should let a soldier from the younger generation take the clips off your hands. What do you want for him?
Huh? You mean money? You want to buy 'em? Well, guess I'd take about 300 for each one.
Here's 300 for one clip.
Praise heaven.
Oh, those are for rifles. Unfortunately, that's not If anything else, it's probably better if I could take them off his hands, though. Sounds like even the NSF has changed quite a bit from what it was before. Not entirely for the better. Shame, but that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes they start off with a genuinely good goal in mind, and they even might actually help to achieve it, but they may have themselves fallen to corruption at this point. Augmentation. Let's get the light on here since our protagonist here refuses to take off his sunglasses at night or indoors.
We made a sweep of the area. No sign of the NSF.
That's good.
I think we scared him off.
Yeah, we can't go into Castle Clinton anymore. In fact, I don't think that area is even... I think this is technically a different area entirely from where we were a bit ago. Which would make sense.
I saw you earlier. You're the guy they sent.
Yes, I am. Hostile. So I might as well turn off the lights. And the reason I'm not using the light shorthand here, the F12, that's because that is the photo taking thing in Steam. And I don't want to take a bunch of photos, especially with how often I use the light, so that's how it goes sometimes, I guess. It's the wrong way. Hard to believe I would get lost in such a small area. I'll probably tell pretty easily, but this game was held back a bit because it was using a very old engine. And they only had so much budget to work with. That's why so many of the NPCs here are all the same recycled models. Like 3 different hairs. Oh, I burned myself apparently. Leave the soda. Actually, I probably shouldn't have taken the medkit. pretty sure the people here have basically nothing. Am I stuck? Yes, I am.
Oh.
Charlie's the lieutenant mayor. He takes care of infrastructure.
We think they're loading the Ambrosia onto a plane. You heard anything about that?
Nothing I can put a price on. Yanatko already thinks it's Juan Lebedev.
Lebedev?
I don't know who else it could be. He owns a whole terminal at LaGuardia. Manderley's been trying to bump him off for years.
Since when is LaGuardia for sale?
City had some debts a few years back. There's always a buyer. But Lebedev's small time. He can't buy off the big politicians like a Bob Page.
Who does he buy off?
People lower down, but useful. Some of your buddies at Yanatko, actually.
Who?
You can't afford that one.
Didn't even ask her price that time. He just said, "There's no way I can afford it." Alright, so I'm not supposed to leave this area yet. Oops. For sure I was supposed to go down there. Don't know what made me think to get out of it. Oh. I definitely need the flashlight upgrade now. Because apparently it would just break JC Denton's heart to take off his sunglasses underground indoors at night. I thought I'd... Weird, I didn't expect that to be fatal.
After the quakes, the homeless drifted down here. Junkies, runaways, grifters. There's a DSS file a mile long on this place. Some of them, the so-called mole people, have permanent living quarters in an adjacent tunnel system not on my map.
I'm looking for the mole people.
You don't want to camp with them. Trust me, they're too political.
I don't need a place to camp.
I started the mole people. I was there first. And then they made up committees that throw people out just because they don't like the way you look.
How do I find them?
Don't bother. They're elitist. And now the NSF is down there too.
Well, that's far more telling than I think even he realized. And if the NSF is using them as a base, then they're most likely forcing them.
Hola, bro.
What is it?
You on Rook's territory now. Just so you know.
You call yourselves Rooks?
That's right. Up here, it's business. You want to do business? Talk to El Rey.
I'll keep that in mind.
Oops. Actually, I think I technically need to fill my, That was a beer, I guess? Candy bar, soda, cigarettes. I need to fill my inventory for this next part. There's a few reasons for that, but public banking terminal. Well, I know how to get some extra cash real quick. Utilizing the icebreaker. Guess I can't be surprised there's nothing in here. I believe if you allow that meter to run out, no, it won't explode. It'll just set off an alarm.
Just take it easy, bro. Be cool. No one up here is looking for a fight. El Rey runs the show.
This one's a pretty easy one to do without combat. Another multi-tool, excellent.
We're gonna be special forces for the NSF if they give us some chits.
This guy.
What you need, bro? Vials are $250.
Know where I can find the mole people?
Good neighbors keep each other's business private.
You want to set a price?
I'm a good neighbor. You want to buy something or not?
Maybe later.
Use the Zyme drug actually does impact your character like alcohol does, and it's really annoying to have to deal with, to be honest. So I only get if I need to fill my inventory. Let's see here. Midnight Sun. Black helicopters is a concern, says Senator. Sighting of ominous black helicopters become increasingly common across the country, from Manhattan to southern California shores. Many citizens have grown concerned that the use of gunships might be a sign that troops may be preparing to mobilize for some unknown action. It certainly concerns me, says, and member of the Armed Services Committee. I intend to bring this up at our next meeting for some hard questions. UNOT co-director Joseph Manderley was more skeptical. If black helicopters are really being used for covert operations, and those responsible are doing a very poor job of it. Manderley went on to say that UNOT employed no such aircraft and declined to pursue the matter further, claiming that it detracted from serious nature of our mission. And if you recall, we were picked up by a black helicopter on the way to this mission. Coincidence? I think not. Yeah, there's some neat stuff that in the lore in this world, but it's mostly on that side stuff. Will the story itself bring it up? I guess we'll find out shortly, because we still need to find the mole. We need to find Hans Moleman and find a way to get things going here.
I hear the NSF are using the mole people hideout as a base.
Are you the feds? We don't need a war down here.
I work for UNATCO.
Well, the NSF come through here, but they don't bother us. If we need help with anything, it's our plumbing. We lost pressure because of the explosions on South Street.
Tough break. You tell me about the NSF, and I'll put in a word with the city about the water.
The city don't know we got water, and they don't need to know. How about you fix it, and then I'll talk?
Oh, yeah.
I don't have much time.
I would open the valve myself, but there was a cave-in. Utility door's blocked. It's up at the north end of the tracks, in case you want to take a look.
Clearing a tunnel. That would require explosives.
It could be done. A lamb would do the trick. It's just that I'm not gonna be the one to talk to the rooks. They'd probably sell us one, but they don't like people going into their turf, which is the whole upper level.
So I can get a lamb, or I can use my rocket. Which is rather irrelevant. Which I choose is rather irrelevant. In fact, I could finish it right now, but there's a few things that can change based on a few... There's a few outcomes of this mission based on a number of things, but I need to fill my inventory. In fact, I probably shouldn't have dropped my flamethrower just yet, just because I need my inventory full for the next part.
The doctors in that clinic, they ain't worth 5 credits.
Well, they did demand an extortionate no, it was 2,000 credits. That's still absurdly expensive. But I could have just gone back to UNATCO headquarters and gotten healed for that. Granted, I don't think the story would let me go back there to heal if I needed it, but in character, I imagine he could have if I needed to. Smash, smash.
You can stick around, long as you have legitimate business.
Long as you have legitimate business. The entire upper end is run by these guys. Yeah, my inventory is not full enough, ironically. Not sure I can fill it in time. Equip. Let's see here. Disposable lockpick, the tension wrench is steel, but the appropriate needles are formed from fast-congealing polymers. Here's what they don't tell you. Despite the product literature, you can actually use a standard lockpick to bypass all but the most high-class nanolocks. Alex Jacobson multi-tool. Disposable electronics tool. By using electromagnetic detection and frequency modulation, blah, blah, blah. Skilled agents can use the multi-tool to manipulate code locks, cameras, autogun turrets, alarms, or other security systems. Nice.
You want to talk to El Rey? That's cool. You ain't all that.
He has a unique model, so I'm pretty sure that's the El Rey we're looking for.
The rooks, we hang mostly on.
Alright, I need to fill my inventory somehow, but how do I do that?
All this, as far as you can see, is Rook's territory.
Alright, we're gonna save right here because what I'm about to do is going to be a bit tricky here. Alright, now my inventory's full. Alright. Perfect. Now enough room in my inventory. Good, good. Now I can take out a... just need to take out people.
God! What's up?
He's not reacting to me at all. Shots, oh my. Now El Rey has a bit of a different feeling if we've been causing problems.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Easy, bro. You don't gotta kill no one.
Yeah? Who says?
What you want? I got this lamb.
I want more.
That's all.
Alright, I need to drop my lambs here as well. Alright, now we need to make sure I get all these guys here. Yeah, they've all been poisoned here. They can't do much. Now they're all running away. Yeah, there's a funny scene you can get if you speak with him after taking out his men, but you're all out of inventory space. Yeah, everyone's exploding. My inventory is full, yes.
Whoa.
Yeah?
What you want?
Just give me the lamb, punk.
Sure, bro. Yeah. Take it.
I have to drop something. Hold on.
That's embarrassing. Took out everyone to get for free, and he doesn't even have room for it. Now, of course, we're not going to be going with that one.
Just take it easy, bro. Be cool.
It's pretty easy to talk him into it. But, Journal's out of order. Yeah, because I already hacked it for free money. We're gonna go ahead and save here. It's El Rey.
Hey, bro, what's with the get-up?
Charlie says you sell explosives.
Yeah? Charlie should mind his own business.
How much?
Whoa. We ain't talking firecrackers, understand? What I got, it comes from a guy at UNATCO. Hardcore munitions and shit.
How much?
I got a lamb. You know what that is? $750.
Pretty steep for secondhand goods.
Either that or you work for it. You into fighting? I need someone to take care of the dealer downstairs.
I'll take out the drug dealer.
Dealer's name's Rock. He hangs out on the east side in the corner.
You can also just knock him out, I believe. That's probably what I'm just gonna end up doing here. Just because it's easier. In fact, I probably should have done it earlier.
Hi, honey.
Actually, let's see what happens if I take out the drug dealer first. Oh, I'm already here. Okay, let's head on over to the, said he's on the east side or the west? We'll find out rather quick. Oh, I. I think I went to the wrong side. Oh well. See if I can find the guy over here. He's got to be around here somewhere.
The doctor's in that clinic.
yeah. Charlie Fink. Should we go see him from across the way? Oh, here he is. Yeah, he's hiding in the shadows here. Here we are. He's unconscious. So I believe we already completed the quest, so let's see if he's surprised that I somehow knew what he asked for, or that we... or if he's suspicious. Sometimes they'll be a bit suspicious, but still go through with it.
Just take it easy, bro.
Alright, it's toward the red areas where they're all hanging out. There's some turnstiles here that I need to get over. I can't see them very well in this lighting.
Hey, bro, what's with the...
Charlie.
Yeah?
How much?
Whoa, whoa.
How much?
I got a lamp.
Pretty steep.
Either that or you work for it.
I already dealt with that guy. Knocked him unconscious, flat on his back.
Unconscious? You deaf? I said I want homeboy dead. You gonna survive on the street, bro, you gotta have some sense. Like what I tell my crew. No mercy. When it's you and the enemy, no mercy.
I used as much force as the situation required. You trying to lecture me on tactics?
Take it easy. We work it out. I get one of my boys to finish the hit. Good enough? That guy? He's been in my way for months. Now I got the whole station. You can have the lamp. Now I can afford me a Gep gun.
Thank you. And there we are. 100 skill points awarded. Yeah. Looks like the conversation doesn't differ from if you take the mission afterward. Because as you noticed, he immediately acted like he had already given me the quest. And he's all, hey, wait a minute, didn't I ask you to actually kill the guy? But I do like that JC doesn't just sit there and take. No, he's all, he did everything was required. There was no need to go that far. And I guess at that point I figured, fine, whatever. I got what I got. The main won't be too hard to finish. But yeah, I really wanted to show that scene because that's actually pretty funny, seeing it. I already have plenty of lambs, so I think I'm in good shape. It's in the north area, right? Where is it? Where is it? I didn't do any damage to this whatsoever, but I did open this. Oh. Whatever, I've got so many spares I can afford to waste a few like this. Let's go ahead and save. Sucks losing a lamb, but it's not really a big deal. I'll just pick this lock then real quick, and that should solve the problem. I can't go through without damage, as you plainly saw, so I just need to turn the valves. Here we are, 100 skill points complete. Come Come on. There we go. Got stuck on the geometry a bit. Unfortunately, the limitations of this game do sometimes become a bit self-evident. But what matters is we got the water flowing here. And this is under... So apparently if the water company knew it was flowing down here, they'd immediately put a stop to it.
The water line should be open now.
Good. Glad to see you UNETCO boys do something for the community.
Now can you tell me about the NSF?
The NSF? Yeah, they took over our tunnels.
Yeah, as expected, it was a hostile takeover.
Go to the women's restroom on the other side of the station. Look for a keypad under the sink. Combination's 5482.
Great. I'm glad I can help you out.
Alright, so I need to remember that. So, 5482. Got it. It's in the women's room specifically. Not the men's room, huh? Oh, annoying. Where?
Oh my god.
You have a problem?
Get out! I got a bomb!
A bomb's a bad choice for close-range combat.
Might as well use it. Rock says I owe him. He won't even give me one vial for it.
What kind of bomb?
I think they said it was called a lamb.
Suppose I could part with a vial of Zyme if you'll give me the lamb.
You got some? Really?
Yeah. Let's see the lamb.
Take it, man. Whatever. Where's the Zyme?
Make it last. I killed homeboy out by the tracks.
Last. But I didn't kill him, I just knocked him out, remember? Although I suppose his days are numbered since the gang's gonna be finishing him off. But yeah, there's two ways you can get lambs here for the purpose of this mission. Do your settings on. Oh, it's the same thing as before.
Better. Much better.
Hopefully he'll make it last because there's not gonna be a supply in here for a while. But apparently there's one in one of these stalls here. Nope, not here. Nope, not here. Alright, conversations, let me go here. Oh yeah, I'm glad this game has a recap. It's really nice in case I accidentally forget or something. The side, look for a keypad under the sink. Okay, here we are. Here it is. I can also use 3 multi-tools, but that's pretty expensive, so I'm just going to go ahead and go with, granted. Go to the secret door. Let's activate our augmentations here because I need to see. Secret. Holy crap, it's like Danganronpa all over again, isn't it? Save here because we save the mole tunnels right here. And mole people. The lair of the mole people.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Take him out!
Alright, let's load up here because I forgot about that. So we're gonna have to go with absolute stealth here. Oops, burn myself. He's gonna be knocked down on his own pretty soon, but as you can see... Yeah, he activates that really quickly, doesn't he? Alright, that guy might not see me, so let's see if I can knock him out. Now this is the main issue with the poison dart in this game. Well, in theory, it's a really useful item for the pacifist runs. The fact of the matter is, enemies run around and taking damage, and more importantly, they're going to set off alarms in that time frame. So, yeah. All right, let's go out here. Pig. We'll knock out from the poison soon enough. So, EMPs. Okay, an EMP is actually quite useful. I don't need to harm that rat.
Something moved. Could be the law. Like Billy the Kid, man. We're outlaws.
Bill the Kid, we're outlaws.
They found him. He's a cop.
Alright, there we are. Oh balls, that's a shotgun. That's rather frustrating. Coughing nails when you've just got to have a cigarette. Yeah, I don't really need those. I was just using those to fill out the inventory a moment ago. Oh, I'm so drunk right now. Dear. Might as well use the drink can. Nuka-Cola. This thing. Can I use this on... No, I cannot, actually. Recoil. Aim. Ooh, excellent. Now it's really good at aiming. But I can't use this on anything useful. Oh yeah, I have to be out of my menu for this. I believe technically the game does freeze while you're in a menu, but it doesn't... But, it also means you can't wait out the drunkenness. Ooh, boy. I think Jay-Z just can't hold his liquor with how easily he gets drunk. Then again, I guess most people probably be a little woozy after gulping down 8 bottles of alcohol, 8 bottles of beer instantaneously, so who am I to judge? Put that away. Okay, finally. Alright, yeah, it's not as bad anymore, so it's finally starting to sober up. Oh right, I can't see a thing while I'm drunk, so that's not worth my time. Or bioenergy. Inventory. Brewed up in a vial of Zyme, brewed up in some basement lab. Yeah, I guess that's a ceiling of some sort, but I can barely see it through all the wooziness. Yeah, it's becoming less and less. Come on, sober up, man. I knocked these all out, so I should be able to have an easier time through this area. Ooh, Nuka-Cola. Okay, good. It's already here. Augmentation. Okay, now I can start seriously. Holy balls, I really was in the middle of nowhere. Let's grab darts. Excellent. Oh yeah, I should, oh, there's nothing here. Oh, that's a cat. I can't pet it or anything, unfortunately. Can you pet the cat? No. Ooh, ammo. Multi-tool, still useful, actually. Especially if I don't want to have to go hunting for all these keypad codes. Oh, I guess I must have stepped on that one. Well, the cat will have food, I guess, as you can see. Sawed-off shotgun. Don't need the cigarettes. I don't need the corpse. Body. Home of the mole people. I guess I can turn off the AUGs now. Let's see if they can tell me anything about the NSF here. Take most of them out.
I know I heard something. Take him out.
Found some soda and some ammo, but these guys need to calm down before I can talk to them at all. Come on, why can't I follow him? Pretty sure there's a lip here I can barely see. Oh, come on. Yeah, there was. Come on.
Looks like you've been overrun by NSF.
They move supplies through here. There's nothing we can do about it.
Anything recently?
A bunch of barrels came through about an hour ago. Woke us all up.
Woke everyone up?
Where were they headed?
They went through the bathroom like they always do. Only way to get a key is from the NSF commander. Guy lives to the south. But I bet he'd die first.
Or be knocked
Some
out.
of the terrorists actually live down here?
It's a secret room. You open the door by pushing a brick they keep hidden behind some cardboard boxes.
I'll have a talk with him. You won't have to worry about the NSF for much longer.
Gonna have to fight him then. Alright. It'd take too much time, but I could always pile the bodies outside of the door and then open it. That would be a pretty good way to try and convince him to surrender, I suppose, but that's too much time and effort, especially since I mostly want to... I got myself caught on fire and the rats got stepped on.
You with the police? They just moved a bunch of barrels through here. You still have time to catch them.
Nice. Got time to catch him then. What? Well, here's what I wanted. Yeah, I guess I need the augmentation here. Oh, no wonder. Sheesh. Oh, this is where I get on here. Okay. And we have to go all the way south then, it looks like. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I can turn off my augmentation here, so... Thermoptic camo. That'll make it harder for the enemy to see me. That's actually going to be quite useful, and since I don't need to waste room with a flamethrower anymore, I think I should to fit it in. Excellent. There's another cat pet over there.
You're the spy, huh?
I'm not a Hey, I'm not a spy. Well, not by technical terms. I mean, exactly. There's not enough room in my inventory to pick up the Frosty. What? Oh my. Let's see here. Augmentation contains highly specific nanomechanisms that combined with a previously module can increase the efficiency if installed. Because no program is required, the epic cancers can be used by agents filled with... Okay, so I thought I need to use a machine to activate that, but I can just put in my augmentations here. See here, I can increase lung capacity if I need to go underwater, and I can tell you right now there's a couple points where you are forced to swim. And I could also use this to try and increase melee, but... can I use... No, I cannot upgrade it, unfortunately. So... let's just play it. As nice as this would be for melee, I'm actually planning a melee build right now, so I don't really need both. I mean, you can go both if you want to be thematically, I am the ultimate warrior, but that's actually not necessary. Just one or the other is more than enough to keep your damage up. Use this, and then all the sodas. And I forgot I'd get drunk. Well, as long as my headlights aren't on, I should be fine. Okay, that didn't last long. Oops. Accidentally stepped on the cat. I imagine it's not too happy about that. Guess I could use these 3 while I'm here and pick up the sodas for later use. Burp. Big soda burp. Alright, behind a bunch of cardboard boxes. Nope, no cardboard boxes here. Oh, but there's one over there. Come on. Here.
Something moved. Could be the law.
I got this one.
I'm hit. There we are. That wasn't too bad at all, actually. Got me in the leg. That's not too bad, really. Oh, that poor cat. Combat knife. I do not need this. Still can't see that well, so augmentations activates vision. Oh, that's a table. Wait, a knife and a... Were they carving up that cat? Poor thing. What jerks. Nothing over here. Nothing over there. Ah, but that's precisely what I wanted. So let's go up here. Okay, yeah, this is where I wanted to go. Now, where's the hidden brick? God! Ah, there it is. Alright, excellent. Now we're gonna take on the NSF boss, and he's not going to go quietly, so we're going to have to take him out with the dart gun. Tranquilizer dart. Oh, he can talk.
I surrender.
The mole people say the ambrosia came through here an hour ago.
I'll cooperate. Relax. The key to the men's restroom is on the table.
This better not be a joke.
Hey, I'm just an accountant. I know the body armor looks threatening, but I'm part-time, like a reservist. I don't want any trouble.
Oh, well... Huh. Pepper cartridge, flamethrower... I don't need any of these things here.
The key's on the corner of the table.
So I guess he was just a punch clock villain. Well, I guess his shift is over, then he can go home. Alright, I can use a multi-tool to deactivate the alarm sounder panel so that others can't trigger it, but unfortunately that's not going to be worth my time. Why that guy said it might fight you to death for it.
You from the feds? We don't need any help.
I know a secret.
Yeah?
It's about the NSF commander. You know how he gets in his secret room?
I give up.
He does something with the brick behind those cardboard boxes. It's true. I saw it.
I believe you. I was just over there myself.
Hell, the NSF don't hurt anybody.
The metal guys knew you were coming.
Fortunately, yes, they were absolutely prepared for me, it seems. Let's see here.
They think because they had guns we're afraid, but we're not.
That's good.
If you're looking for the airfield, you're gonna want to go to the north end of the chamber. They've built a secret passageway in the men's bathroom.
North end, eh? I also need to find the men's room, so... North end of the chamber. Men's room.
We've been waiting for the right chance to run these jerks out of town.
Alright, I have the key. Probably turn off the augmentation now for the flashlight. Dang, this thing is not too energy inefficient, but it does suck all the same. Let's see here, if you're looking at the airfield, go to the north end. They've built a secret passageway in the men. Here we are, yeah. 100 points of work in progress. New York City, unknown location. It's not on any map. Alright, we need to get the cure out before it gets out of our reach.
These sewage tunnels look like they come out somewhere by the airfield. Be careful, though. The terrorists probably expect intruders.
So, 2 multi-tools. This might be worth it just to make less of a pain. Bypassing the device. Bypassing the device. Here we are. You bypassed. I think that's worth it just to make this portion a lot easier. We're at the heli base. And I can pick these up so I can get some vision, because for some reason I can see better when looking through a metal box. Don't ask how that works. I turned off these lasers. Augs. Oh nice, I can turn off my augmentation now and use the box as my vision. Alright, let's see if I can't get him from this distance. No, I can't actually. I should be coming back in his patrol route soon. I should be able to. There we go. And of course, he has plenty of time to get there because the crossbow is absolutely garbage in this game. I mean, I guess technically there are lethal darts you can use for it, but those don't come until a lot later on. Those things shouldn't be able to see me because I blew up the security camera. That's BS, I tell you. That's where I came from. Actually, there's one too where I came from. They all combine here. Interesting. Augmentation is deactivate. Yeah. Guaranteed KO because they will eventually fall, but it's not much. Oh, I see. I did jump up here. All right, augmentations deactivate. All right, now I can see. key to this over here. I got a few options here. I can use some more multi-tools to deactivate these lasers, or I can just shoot this. Hurt a little, but problem solved permanently. That looks radioactive. Crap. First person. Why is first-person platforming so common in these early 2000s FPS games? It's really... It wouldn't be too bad if I could at least, you know, see my feet, but that's not really the case now, is it? Yeah, let's just load game here because this is gonna be a lot easier than having to climb all the way back up. And let's reduce the spread option here. Yeah, that didn't go as well as I was hoping it would. Let's go here. That's it. Let's see if I can... I guess there's not much else no direction to go, and I can barely see. Really gonna have to try and run there. Guess I have no choice. Activate this. Darn it. Hello, what's this? There's an area down here. Use 2 of these because I'm gonna have to turn on the aqua lung and deactivate the... Oh no, I can't deactivate that because I can't see if I don't. Alright, so go underneath the underwater tunnel then. We are now officially in Wet Dry World from Super Mario 64. Well, I guess it could also be Hazy Maze Cave since it's a mix of what counts as a sewer level. I guess that's the closest thing to a sewer level in the proper Mario 64 game. Lights, load. Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you, Mr. Rat. There's so little movement area here.
Scanning area.
Oh crap. There's actually a thing here. Oh crap.
Target acquired. Target acquired.
Yeah, these are the machines that you're actually things you're actually supposed to be using your GEP gun on. I guess you can hide out here if you need to avoid their attention. But since I've got my rockets, I can take them out pretty easily. My secret area. skill points awarded. I could probably turn off the augmentation now. Here we are. Data cube, young. If you or Decker need to access my account, be careful, I'll find you after this is all over. Okay, multi-tool obtained. Excellent.
You're entering a Hella-based terminal below a private section of LaGuardia. Veer to the east. You should be able to take the elevator to ground level. If you hit trouble, double back across the platform. There's a sewer drain to the northwest which leads to a pond next to the airfield. We think we might know who's moving the shipment. More in a minute.
Well, they didn't mention a Mr. Lebedev. Too heavy to lift. Alright, sim tests. Oh, that's an NSF guy. Oh, no. Save. This is gonna go high on a handbasket very soon.
Looks like you're on the right track. That's one of the 3 missing barrels of ambrosia. We'll be sending a team to recover it. See if you find the other 2.
Alright, where's the enemy? Oh, there's a scary camera right above me.
Looks like you're on the right track. That's one of the 3 missing barrels of ambrosia. We'll be sending a team to recover it. See if you find the other 2.
Alright, well, one of 3. So where's the last one?
I saw somebody. Maybe just a homeless guy.
In your top secret airbase.
I guess it's nothing.
Yeah, his vision cone is pretty shitty.
I saw. That's him. He's a cop. This is what I signed on for.
Alright, load up. Let's see what we can go through. Where's he going? Somebody got all the way in there? What?
Looks like you're on the right track. That's one of the 3 missing barrels of ambrosia. We'll be sending a team to recover it. See if you find the other 2.
You bypass the device. Now, let me see if I can focus my aim, because the guy's going to be coming down here in just a moment. I need to be able to shoot him with the clip.
This guy wasn't just a grunt. What's going on?
Load game. Yeah, let's just load here.
Looks like you're on the right track. That's one of the 3 missing barrels of ambrosia. We'll be sending a team to recover it. See if you find the other 2.
He's gonna be passing by here rather soon, so as long as he doesn't know me. I don't think he can, if he doesn't have a reason to suspect me, notice, I don't think.
Quiet. Fascist. I'm hit. Big guy. He can't hide for long. Never killed a cop before.
Come on, load up, load up. I messed that up something fierce.
Looks like you're on the right track. That's one of the 3 missing barrels of ambrosia. We'll be sending a team to recover. See if you find the other 2.
I need to wait here.
When are we gonna see some action?
I have to wait for him to stop moving. I've disabled the camera, this is a lot easier. Should stop moving at some point. Take a breather, look around, and that's precisely what I'm trying to wait on, because if I can get him to smack him in the back of the head, that usually deals enough damage to be an instant KO, even with baton. Probably should have kept that prod. I thought there'd be another one by now, though.
Uh-oh. They found us.
Oh! 30 credits says I get it.
What the hell?
The guy vanished.
What? The guy vanished. Oh, that's a flamethrower. Alright, let's load up again. Apparently we're just not allowed to have a fun time here.
Looks like you're on the right track. That's one of the 3 missing barrels of ambrosia. We'll be sending a team to recover it. See if you find the other 2.
We can hack in here before Note comes in, because we know they do patrol here. We have to hurry. I was sick. Johnny. Hub terminal killing Joe.
I got this one. Careful. These UNATCO guys got all fascist.
Oh, tranquilizer dart got caught in the wall. Locked strength. Alright, they didn't set up the main alarm, so I shouldn't get an army of enemies, but... Alright, let's hack through here. Hopefully I can reach the camera stuff here, because that'd be really nice. Initializing the icebreaker. No email today. Well, that was a waste of everyone's time. I can drop this because I don't need it. I don't need this. I do not need this.
I swear I heard something. I swear I heard something.
That went better than expected. Data cube, Aaron. The Ambrosia's been delivered. The first barrel's being offloaded with the helicopter. The other barrels are heading out by boat and plane, so we can hopefully get at least one sample away for analysis. You can't rendezvous with us at the departure points, otherwise you know where to meet if something goes wrong. You've done a lot. The cause from proud of yourself to play it safe and get jail. John Lebedev, I'd assume.
This line has been shut down by order of UNESCO.
Order of UNESCO. Alright. Here's this is security terminal, so let's go ahead and hack this, activate the icebreaker. Oh, right, it was this far back? Really? Annoying.
Looks like you're on the right track. That's one of the 3 missing barrels of ambrosia. We'll be sending a team to recover it. See if you find the other 2.
Let's reduce the amount of spread potential to make sure it hits him. Actually, this will be easier.
Take him out. God damn.
Damn it. Let's drop these here. Nope, that's still no good. Darn it.
Looks like you're on the right track. That's one of the 3 missing barrels of ambrosia. We'll be sending a team to recover it. See if you find the other 2.
I know the guy's gonna be passing by here and then stand staring at there for a bit.
They found us. I got this one. Careful. These United guys got all the tricks. I got this one.
There we go. Very annoying. lamp. Buckshots. Range modification, upgrade canister. Darts, combat knife. Ooh, nice supplies. We're gonna go ahead and save now. We even took minimal damage doing that. But yeah, it took way too long. I really need to get my hacking leveled up just because that means I have more free time to do stuff. I'm pretty sure I took damage because the hack took too long, and of course the alarm went off as a result. And there we are. Camera's deactivated. Perfect. Alright, all the supplies are for here. They'll go to a good cause, I assure you. Let's go and save just to be sure I don't screw that up yet again.
That's him. He's a cop.
I forgot one of them had a flamethrower. That's a bit too much for me to handle, I'd say. Alright, he's gonna come out of there again, and when he does, he's about to get a dart in the face. There's only a handful in here.
Take him out.
They shouldn't be able to notice me this easily. Yeah, if a dude whips out his gun, that usually means he's spotted you and is preparing. Multi-tool and pistol ammo, can't say no. And no one's in here, right? Alright, I deactivated the camera so I can see these safely. You already have cap of that ammo. Yeah, I'm not doing rifles, so I don't need this ammo. Excellent. Stuff like that is why I like the melee build, but there's a few things later on that will make it even better. Right, the other guy. I forgot my old nemesis from the other save file when I attempted to go this way first.
Quiet. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that didn't work as well as I was hoping. Now did it? attention by smashing these movements. Oh, no. Interesting. Let's waste the ammo here so that it auto-reloads. There we are. Alright. Save and let's go. Time to dive right in. Okay, good. He didn't see me. It's supposed to be their break room. There we are. Tranquilizer darts. That's what I needed, actually. Exploration bonus. Medkits. And lockpick. Excellent. Let's go ahead and get some easy cash out of this. That's actually a decent withdrawal. Newspaper, seasonal flooding minimal from London, UK. An article recently published in the Quarterly Journal indicates that worldwide flooding from melting ice caps will be significantly less this year than in previous years due to an unusually cold winter in the Northern Hemisphere. Dr. Tanya Bright, a professor of climatology in Oxford University, led the study that noted global tides should rise by no more than 1 to 2 meters on average in most major cities throughout North America, Europe, and East Asia. In comparison, the high water mark in New York last year was 4 meters, requiring millions of credits and additional spending for the network of levees and pumps. While the theories concerning significant increase days below freezing at either pole about, one practical upshot is that the Arctic ice density has grown substantially, even when compared to any similar period in the last 5 years. Okay, good. Alright, that's where the chopper is. So we can get to it. The old one. Guess I might as well drink this thing empty, right? This is really slow. It's out of water, even though you can clearly see water in here, so... That didn't work as well as I expected. Alright, well, this is where I want to be for the moment, so... Attack helicopter. A literal one, I mean. I have no idea where they're getting the funding for these things, but it's really bad news.
I swear I heard something. I got this one.
Okay, so much for that plan. Okay, fine. We're gonna be this way. Honest. I'm gonna blow up the chopper. Get to the chopper. I can't blow up the chopper. Are you kidding me? That thing is immune to damage completely. And if this thing's this durable, I'd hate to see what their defense helicopters look like. Those probably can't be harmed by anything. Crap, is that an enemy up there? Need to avoid getting seen. But I can't see Jack right now, so more augmentation vision required. Oh.
Uh-oh. Take him out.
Yeah. Alright. Well, if they're not gonna let me destroy this helicopter. Come on, augmentation. Activate. Of course.
Who's there? I think the law's on us. They found us.
Yeah, I can't do that easily. I can't see Jack, darn it. I can't even go into the chopper to try and cause some havoc. God!
Fascist.
Oh crap, let's get out of here, let's get out of here.
Stay cool, guys. That's him. He's a cop.
How are you taking such low damage from this thing? You're the flamethrower guy. I cannot afford to let you hit me. Or get near me.
God damn.
Oh, phew. Finally succumb to the poison. Napalm. 10mm ammo. Yeah, this is really awful. That could have gone really badly. That could have gone better. Ambrosia container. Excellent. Heal. And I can turn on my augmentation for vision now because I now know I took out all the enemies in this particular area. And boy, were there a lot of them. Sheesh.
They found us. Take him out.
There's a lot of exploring to do in this maze-like area, it seems. Not getting very many bio.
Who was that?
Uh-oh.
I got this.
There we are. Well, at least I didn't get the shotgun to death. That would have been absolutely terrible. Exploding barrels, that could have really gone badly for me. Alright, let's go here. This weapon modification range. Oh, this works on almost everything. First of all, I can drop this and this. Ballistic armor. Charge remaining. Alright, save game here. Yeah, I'm gonna go down here, I think. Same area I came in. This is the area I came in, isn't it? We'll find out in just a moment, I suppose. Yep, it is. Huh, interesting. This is where I came in. Or perhaps, more accurately, one of the places I could have come in. Fortunately, I'm completely out of ammo now, so...
Let's get the hell out of here.
Alright, manage my augmentation because I'm running really low on these things. Alright, now I can turn this off and just go straight forward. I have no idea how I keep throwing myself off like that with only 12%. Sheesh. Of course. Someone managed to screw that up really bad.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Well, that was embarrassing. I'm gonna manage my use of these things, but I guess that's just not meant to be. We'll turn this off. Yeah, the guy up there sees me. He's got a sniper rifle, so it's really hard to not die rather quickly. lose both your legs, you have to crawl across the floor, and you move extremely slow, so it's not very fun, suffice to say. Alright, let's load. Okay, let's see here. Thermoptic camo. Oh wow, I didn't even realize that was a thing that could happen. Well, I don't mind dying when it's something entertaining like that.
Now this is what I signed on for.
Wow, they really got the headshot that time. That didn't do much, did it? Yeah, he's trying to get an angle on me, so I'm trying to get an angle on him. I guess he found one. I may have to just, I may have no choice but to whip out the big guns if it's going to be this much of a problem. That didn't do jack to me. I can't be wasting too many of these, too much ammo on the Gep gun. While it's most definitely the greatest silent takedown, it is also extremely limited in ammunition. Yeah, you can pull the trigger a lot faster than I can. That's the difference between hit scan and projectile weapons. Wow. Okay, we at least damaged him enough that he's quitting. Got him. That was a bit more annoying than it should have been, but I think I'm in good shape here. Please don't tell me I wasted my time going all the way over here. I already took him out, so I'm pretty sure all enemies are now gone. Alright, now let's double check. Locate 3 barrels of ammo. Locate the primary field where they moved it. Investigate the subway system because they may be hiding underground. We already did those. Let's see here. Elevator exits, sewer drain in the northwest. Crap, is there even more down here I missed? Exit.
This is the terminal at LaGuardia owned by Juan Ivanovich Lebedev. We're certain based on what you've discovered that he's working with terrorists. Your orders are to locate and kill him. We're sending you a map of the airfield. This is the terminal at LaGuardia owned by Juan Ivanovich Lebedev. We're certain based on what you've discovered that he's working with terrorists. Your orders are to locate and kill him. We're sending you a map of the airfield.
Here we are. Yeah, that robot was tearing me apart a minute ago, so... Alright, so Lebedev is absolutely in this area, I imagine. Here we are. What's this? Barrel of... that is explosive. I don't want to ruin that. Risk ruining that. I can't believe I almost saved at a point where I could be ambushed by those things. Granted, I don't think it'd kill me, but it'd reduce me down to no legs, and having to crawl everywhere would be really slow. Ah, good. A barrel. I can... a metal crate. Now I can gain my vision back. First of all, I should probably take out these things. Charger.
Target acquired.
There we are. There's a reason I liked choosing the Gep gun to start with. Guess going through the front door is out of the question. Alright. Let's wait for it to shrink. Oops. I severely underestimated how large that explosion was going to be. Alright, let's move this up here. Not that way. Not this way. Let's move. I guess I have a choice. Way to get into that large warehouse, but I'm not sure if I lost it already. Boathouse. This will be an entrance.
Huh? Fascist.
Yeah, no. I'm not prepared for this. Alright. I'm gonna have to do a lot of saving stuff here to make sure I can do this right, but... deactivate that if I wanted. Oh boy, more enemies. A ladder.
Oh!
Again. Let's keep... here's the warehouse I need to get into. Thought I got rid of all those guys, darn it. Flashlights. Flashlights.
Area.
Fire.
Scanning area.
Fire. Loading up, loading up, loading up. 7. Scanning area. Press the alarm right here on the side of a crate.
Scanning area. Target acquired.
There we are. We'll just save now that we've destroyed yet another killer robot here. Although granted, just say it's a standard grade. How do I get open in here? Augmentations, vision. I need to find a way around. Way around. This looks a bit different. Can I interact with it? No, I cannot. Turn off the thing. This guy's still. Come on, aim harder. Come on, can you not aim any better than this?
That's him.
Alright, yellow pain. This guy appears to not be patient.
Who was that? I didn't see a uniform.
Ping. Ping.
Scanning area.
Yeah, that went to hell rather quickly, don't you think? Alright, let's, nothing to be gained from these scraps. To find air. Way into this air machine. Time for optic camera. Should make me harder to see, although not impossible. Alright, let's go ahead and save now that I collected those items. Need to find the inn. Lock strength. And a keyring doesn't have the right code.
I know I heard some.
Doesn't say what this locked box is, I suppose. Alright, he's been alerted, so he's showing around, but since I got him so far away, he has no way of knowing it was me.
Scanning area.
Okay, good. We got a ton of nano keys here. Let's see if any of these fit. It's not the right code. Really? Well, I took out a bunch of enemies, so let's go ahead and save here, just so that I don't accidentally have to do all that again. Alright, let's not activate the flashlight in that dude's face then, shall we?
Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, he saw me, I guess. Yeah, it can be hard to tell if the CPU's seen you or not when they stand still for a moment, so they made it so that the enemies will hold out their weapon for a moment if they think they've seen you. Let's not lose our legs, shall we? I'm eating a ton of my ammo, but it's worth it just to make sure I can freely move around without those things getting me.
I know I heard something.
Yeah, let's not let the alarm go off. Dang, look at all that vision. I do not want to aggro this guy because that flamethrower is absolutely going to destroy me if I don't take it seriously.
Great. That should make sure you and I won't miss any shots. I've notified the recovery team. One barrel left. We think this one may actually be on Lebedev's jet.
Bioelectric cell successfully. Multi-tool. That's it, but that's all I need, really. Alright, so the last one's on Lebedev's jet. Ooh, right, metal box. I can use this for my vision boost. Vision. Yeah, I'm glad I activated all those explosive barrels to clear the way, although... Yeah, I need to stay away from those corners, because that's where the, stuff is being monitored the hardest. And this area is where the final jet is, but how do I get in there? Whatever it is, I don't think it activates right away, but... Where's the entrance? Where's the entrance? It's gonna be a side entrance because obviously I can't just go right through the main door. They're not gonna let me. Pretty sure this hangar is where I need to go, but the question is, how do I get inside? The boosted vision from this metal crate should be sufficient to help me. I just need to figure out where. Ooh, that's right, I might actually have the thing for my keyring now. If I can unlock it. Yep, this is precisely what I needed. Ooh, crap, the NSF forces. Oh boy, I need to be extremely careful then. Can't go that way, I'll be found by the cameras. Let's see here. Loading, loading, loading. Ah, they must be inside here. Save now that I'm actually in this building here. Burm. This. Yeah, sleeves on flight, that's the same thing. Alright, this is basically where they're living, so I have to be very careful not to get their attention. This guy is probably just cooking a meal, poor guy, but I have to knock him out or else he'll cause the alarm. Nano key. This is just empty. Yeah, the frying pan and thing are all empty. Was that? Was he just doing those look busy? Quick, I need to look busy. I'll pretend like I'm cooking, even though he can't. I guess this is a nice little bit of healing, although it's not going to be very much. It's out of water. Might as well save now that I've defeated an enemy and healed up. I can't see into the corners very well, so let's activate. Yeah. Let's deactivate the light. I don't think I need this anymore. Okay, good. He was too busy trying to activate the alarm. He didn't do anything. Lock. Strength 1 pick. Sure, 1 pick it is. And there we go, unlocked. Security keypad. Loading. Beds. Yeah, this is where... Yeah, this is basically where they all stayed. This is where they lived for a while, but unfortunately I had to come in and ruin everything. Although to be fair, they did steal the treatment for the disease, so... It's not like this came out of nowhere. need a keypad. It's secure. Someone have maybe another pillow, maybe. Yeah, suppose people's their pillows. Here we are. If anyone asks, they had a pillow fight in here. Got it. Alright, steel thing to improve my vision. And there is absolutely nothing in here, darn it. Steel security door. Alright, this is a metal door, reinforced door, so it won't just get blown up, so let's go with the multi-tools, I guess. 3 tools. 2 tools. Bypassed. What? What's in here? Alright, we need to keep going forward here. I cannot see anything. What the?
You can relax, JC. I told the troops to stand down. That's right. I'm working for the NSF. I'll meet you at the 747.
Well, this explains why his mission was such a colossal failure.
Excellent work. I underestimated your abilities. You work for the NSF? Listen to what I've got to say. We don't have much time. You got that right. UNATCO will have a team here in a few minutes. The Grey Death is a man-made virus. Everyone up to the President is at UNATCO's mercy as long as UNATCO controls the supply of ambrosia. You believe that? We have proof. We need to get the ambrosia to Hong Kong. Heard of Tracer Tong? He can help us synthesize it ourselves. You better step away from the jet. Your boss is my next objective. Join us, JC. Talk to Lebedev. He can convince you. Get on the plane. We're almost ready to go. Blackmail of the U.S. government could not possibly escape the notice of the United Nations. Don't be so quick to trust the UN. Are you kidding? The UN's about the only chance we've got these days. If the U.S. spirals into another civil war... A pretext, nothing more. The whole project of world government, going back to the League of Nations, has been funded and manipulated mainly by wealthy bankers. Is that so? Remember that the UN itself was built on land donated by John D. Rockefeller. Get on board. A UNATCO security squad will be here any minute.
No, it's only now that I'm actually realizing this actually reminds me a lot of old Oz politics from Final Fantasy XIV. Because indeed, it was supposed to be a group of people led by the Sultana, but because everything's run by the wealthy people who who quote-unquote generously donated all the supplies.
The wealthy have always been the ones to profit from one world government.
Yeah.
Scanning area.
Yeah, basically they have full control of everything, and I guess this has just been a pretty good plot point for games to use since. For fiction in general, I know a lot of cyberpunk stuff has been using this in movies and stuff. And it makes sense, this game itself was inspired by quite a few of those cyberpunk films, after all.
Hold fire. Easy, we don't want any trouble.
Frankly, I'm just glad I don't have to waste any more ammo on anyone here, because dang, was that frustrating to have to deal with it. Well, this does make it interesting, because if you remember at the start of the game...
You better get moving.
Because if you remember, yeah, because when you remember at the start of the game, to make things a bit easier, I'd get some of the NSF people to follow me, and then Paul and the robot would gun them down. And just because that was a lot to, you just have to deal with.
Hey, you're the guy the Feds sent? I have something for you.
What?
How do you know anything about the Feds?
Oh, Lebedev, all his people right now, they're running around like ants thinking it's gonna be a raid. Rich bastard probably has some kind of drug deal about to happen. Anyway, filch this stuff from a guy's locker. I'm selling a recoil weapon mod for 400. I also have some shotgun shells I'll give you for 300.
Oh,
scanning area.
I don't need the weapon mods actually, so maybe
later.
Scanning area.
Scanning area. Scanning area. Scanning area.
Scanning area.
Hope you decide to join up.
Well, you have to admit, this is certainly a lot to take in all at once, you know? And I remember this looked a lot nicer, and yeah, if it wasn't so dark, this would actually look really impressive. And I believe that's the jet. I just
Hurry up. The UNATCO security squad won't be far behind.
Oh, don't worry, the UNATCO squad isn't allowed to go in here. Or until I trigger the event flags.
Scanning area.
Well, let's see here. How do I get in, first of all? See the jet, but where's the side?
Scanning area.
We're getting to a point I really wanted to get on stream because there's there's a few path splits here, or rather a bunch of different dialogue you can potentially get. I believe this is the right staircase, and I'm not gonna, no point in attack anyone. And for the record, yes, if you try and attack Paul now or any point before, you'll find out he is protected by the invincibility flag. In fact, for quite a bit of the game, of the early game here, like if you try to do any battle inside of the UNATCO HQ, absolutely everyone in there is flagged for invincibility, so you can't do anything. Oh. Did I get on the wrong spot? Well, at least this glows like a radiant star, so I can... Okay, so good, that's not it. Alright. Once again, I could swear the colors look right, like when I'm looking through this filter. This is how it's supposed to look, but it's not. I need to be careful here. That's a bathroom here. Is there anything good? No. I can see the reflection of this, but not that I'm holding it. Good old early 2000s graphics. Alright, but this is absolutely a major turning point in the story, so... It's actually moderately well lit. I mean, if he's gonna be the host... Found some soda. It would be rude to turn down all of this free beer. 40. Well. Ooh. Alright, now I'm gonna wait for this to go, and truth be told, this scene that's coming up is one of the ones I have actually been looking forward to for the entire stream, since I started streaming this game, so hopefully it'll be very entertaining once I start showing all the different conversations. Fortunately, this is where this is going to be where the major path splits also, those dialogue splits also begin to end, unfortunately. But the fact that they put so much effort up until now does a good job of keeping it the illusion of free choice here, and that really does a lot. So it's like how a lot of the earlier, even the earlier Telltale games did a good job of making it feel like your choices matter, even though the story was actually quite linear for most of the time. And games that do that is a really good thing, I think, because there's really no avoiding it being a lot of work if you want to successfully have all the different things, all the different choices make an impact, but... I think Lebedev's up on the second floor. Oh, no, he's not, but actually... Might as well pick up the free stuff. I mean, I shouldn't turn down his hospitality after all. Here he is. Alright, say we're going to be saving in here. We are. One Lebedev.
I surrender.
What?
Easy now, Agent. UNATCO has a policy against killing unarmed prisoners.
That's true.
We have much to learn from each other.
We're assuming control of the airfield. The vaccine will be returned to the international authorities.
Yep.
Don't you want to hear why your brother came over to our side?
He makes his own decisions.
You know he wouldn't betray UNATCO without a reason.
Good work. Now finish the job.
He surrendered. He's an unarmed prisoner. UNATCO policy protects him.
Terminate the prisoner, Agent. If you are too afraid, you are ordered to return to base on Manderley's authority. There is a helicopter waiting.
You're conscious.
Congratulations, Agent. You are one of us after all. I confess I had my doubts. Your helicopter is waiting at the airfield. We can say what we like in the paperwork. That is how it is done. Swift and quiet.
Alright, that's one path, and now we get to one of the next ones. Now, here we go with the next one. Two picks isn't too bad. I think this is... And I think there's a way to get around here if you don't... Actually, I think I might have had the key and I didn't need to do that. Oh well. We're gonna be showing a few more paths here.
I surrender.
I can't talk to him again until Navarra gets here, so...
Good work. Now finish. Terminate the prisoner, Agent.
If you know something, just tell me.
The question you've got to ask, I'm surprised you haven't, is the obvious one. Who am I? Who made me, and for what purpose?
He does make a good point. I mean,
UNATCO has briefed me on my augmentations. Get to the point.
Return to base, Agent Denton. I will handle this.
Your parents were murdered precisely because they could have told you the correct answer to that question.
That's a pretty big claim.
Yeah,
you didn't have parents. The ones you knew were employees. You were made by a cabal of technophiles so crazed for power that they would control not only governments and people, but the chemistry of our bodies as well.
Leave us, Agent.
We knew we were...
Now.
We knew we were...
I have the command here now.
Yeah, we knew we were made for the... to test out nanomachine
Sounds like a picture-perfect description of the NSF.
Think bigger, Agent. Think global.
You have disobeyed a direct order.
Do you think it's an accident that the cure for the global plague is owned by a single corporation, and that it's kept so secret that only the tabloids dare print a story suggesting it exists?
The supply is limited. That doesn't mean there's a conspiracy.
But where does that corporation manufacture the cure? And where did your brother uncover the information that brought him over to our side?
Go on.
I can tell by the expression on your friend's face that she knows where I'm heading. UNATCO is completely correct to think that Tracer Tong will soon understand Ambrosia. He was the one who was going to receive the shipment.
Why tell me all this?
I've said nothing that UNATCO won't find on this plane's computer. But here's the secret. This is what Paul was so interested to hear from Tracer Tong.
Manderley will be disappointed in your insubordination. That is what happens to a prisoner who tries to escape. Go to the helicopter now, Agent Denton. It is waiting at the airfield.
Now here comes the interesting one. Now, it makes it clear you have to choose between those two options, but what if you don't want to choose between two options? What if you'd rather take a third? This is not going to be easy. Okay, so yeah, I'm sure I could find the code somewhere here, but I'm just gonna lockpick this because, well, this is one of the reasons I got lockpicking as one of the starters. It's just so much easier. Let's go this way. Alright, there's only one entrance here, so... Alright, here we go. Oops. No, I can't throw it. I need to place the detonator here.
I surrender. Don't you? You.
Jesus, JC, that was Agent Navarre. I can't say I like the way she operated, but oh my god. Manderley will have you shot. We have to erase the log files. I'll protect you this time. You better have a good explanation.
Yep.
I guess Paul must have convinced you.
Alright. We're alone. If you have proof of a conspiracy, let's hear it.
The question you've got to ask. I'm surprised you haven't.
UNATCO has briefed me on my
Your parents were not...
That's a pretty big claim.
You didn't have parents.
Your proof?
You're the proof. You and Paul. When you get back to UNATCO, pay attention. Something's not right. You're really working for a group of conspirators called Majestic 12.
You expect me to believe there's a group of people powerful enough to control the United Nations?
The UN and UNATCO are just a couple of their tools.
Now, this is a very big thing that you actually have no indication is even possible. As I mentioned before, if you try to attack anyone from UNATCO in any point previous, including Navarre, Alright, you'll find out that they have invincibility. They can't die. It is literally impossible to make that happen. However, this is the first time that you're actually able to do that, and it's actually very possible to attack her. I think the intent was that they have you attack her when she tries to attack him, so that he goes, okay, so Paul must have convinced you. What? But yeah, this is the third and final one you can choose, and we're going to be going with this one for the story purposes. Data cube. One, Decker let me know that Killian dropped off a canister recovered during the operation. Decker wasn't sure what it was, but he put on a suspension crate on board the plane. Coded. Figured you'd want to know what to do with it. 5, eh?
UNATCO has already occupied the airfield. Just go through the motions and report back to Liberty Island. I can't do anything for you here.
And there's gonna be a lot of hell to pay. And luckily Alex seems to believe in us because he covered our asses. Even though he very well could have told the boss about it. Attacking Navarre over this is pretty excessive, but at the same time, she was attacking unarmed prisoners who had already surrendered, so it's not like she was entirely innocent, but we can mull over the... yeah, you can use your own lamp, deactivate your own lambs there just fine. Shiny. get out of here. If I can find the exit. It should be around here somewhere. Ooh, soy food. That reminds me, I didn't check the flavor text before, so... Alright. Fine print. Seasoned with nanoscale mechanical generators, this TSP textured soy protein not only tastes good, but also self-heats when its package is opened. Now that's something I could definitely use. Because I don't even need a microwave, you just have to, okay, let's use this to enhance our vision. Yeah, this is where we want to go here. I believe this is the exit. Crap, my energy reserves are out already. How, frustrating. Oh, I was just about out here. Hey, Unatco. How are you guys doing?
All clear, sir. We've disabled the security grid. Agent Herman is on his way.
Excellent. Whatever, it's not worth pushing things too far, I suppose. Oh yes, I should grab this metal thing in order to get some vision added. I think this reset here, even though I took it into the plane with me, is because technically this map is a different map from the one with all the NSF and Paul in it. So when I exited there, it sent me to a new area completely. It just it's supposed to look like this one from another further on in the time. Oh no. Is this one still here? How interesting. Ah, here we are. Yep, more Unatco guys. And yeah, this is the first you actually learn about MJ-12, a little Majestic 12 here, a little early if you manage to successfully defeat Agent Navarra. Right, well, at least most of these guys are unconscious, but this raises a lot of questions for sure. And of course, we should probably take these. I don't think the NSF is gonna need them anymore. I need to keep this with me so I can see. It should be around here somewhere, near the helipad, I think. This actual area isn't actually that large, I just keep getting lost, if we're honest, so... I'll probably call the stream after I meet up with Herman and head back to HQ.
All clear, sir.
Excellent. Don't ask why I have a garbage can in front of my eyes, it simply enhances my vision. Yeah, I could have gone in here if I wanted to try and turn these things against the enemies, but it's a lot of work and probably not worth it if we're completely honest. Boathouse. Oh, there's ones flowing in the water too. I probably don't want to set those off. What's glowing blue here? No key, eh? Oh, actually, I need that because data cube. You know, you gotta survey the perimeter. Reports are coming back that someone heading this way through the tunnels. Don't know what their force composition is, but it sounds bad. I'm not back. Load up the ambrosia as soon as the boat arrives and head for the hangar. These gates are locked, so get the key. I'll meet you there, Decker. The nano key at Eastgate Key. Alright. Should be able to meet up with Herman very soon. I believe he's waiting at the helipad, and I'll be getting back to base with my buddy from before. But it's gonna take a bit to get there, I guess, so... And I'm already running, so... Yeah, I may get... As nice as the stealth upgrade, I may get the running speed upgrade. Oh, there's Herman. Let's just go over to him. Paging Dr. Herman. Alright.
Manderley has assigned me the peacekeeping occupation of the airport.
Standard procedure, it appears. I'm sure we can count on you.
I want to be the one to execute Lebedev.
Yeah, well, there was shooting on the 747. I didn't see what happened. Maybe Anna beat you to it.
I will investigate. You might need backup.
Hey, about my brother.
A shame that we have to track down and kill one of our most advanced agents. At least we have one of you left.
Don't you think we should give Paul a chance to explain himself? He's been with UNATCO for years.
Only one thing can happen when you break your oath to the Coalition.
Now, we're supposed to be a peacekeeping organization, but the whole time here we felt more and more like the Mafia.
Gunter told me about Paul.
It's true. Paul's been working for the NSF.
This is gonna shake up the Coalition, JC. I don't know if you realized how important your brother was.
Coalition will recover. I'm not so worried about the Coalition.
UN officials will probably get
I got
involved.
stuck on JC.
You'll have to keep your head down if you're gonna come through this in one piece. Sure you're ready to head back to base?
I'm ready. Let's move out.
Get in.
And for the record, Gunther's response does change based on what you choose. If you decide to follow through with Anna Navarre's plan and you take out Lebedev yourself, even if it's a KO, they'll act as if you killed him, and accordingly you'll have to, he'll say, sorry, I beat you to it, something like that. Meanwhile, I have to use another tool here. Ooh, ammo. Aw, the thing that restores my energy isn't in here. How disappointing. Well, it doesn't matter. It's just one multi-tool. I'll play more where that came from. Oh yeah, and he'll say that Anna beat him to it if he wants to take a little bit.
Vanderlei wants you to stop by his office. Don't sweat it if he chews you out. I think you made the right decision by not killing Lebedev.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Manderley calmed down when he heard they picked up Lebedev.
Yeah, Alex really is taking a big risk by helping us out like this. I'll let you know if this decision ends up impacting the story later. Oops. Authorized personnel only. Well,
Manderley's blowing his top. You better go see him on the double.
Oops.
It's a question of who benefits society more.
But who decides that? You?
It's implicit.
I think Paul just had a soft spot for the plague victims.
Every human institution is like a pyramid. Those with ability are at the top. They're more important.
Maybe it's the Foundation that's important. When the Foundation's gone...
They make the decisions. They keep the machine running. Therefore, they must be protected first.
I'm not saying Paul was right.
It's basic tactics. Protect your command centers, your airstrips, your industrial zones.
It's just the rationing. Seems like the government could pay VersaLife to manufacture more.
Yes, VersaLife. They're the ones who make the cure. Actually, before I do anything else, I really want to hurry up and get healed because I am under a lot of pain. I cannot see anything, and my bioelectric energy is completely shot. I still love the Unatco HQ song. Okay, now I know where I am.
Then what'd you do?
I chased them into the building.
Weren't you scared? Back where I started. Then what'd you do?
I chased them into the building.
Weren't you scared?
A little, but when I'm wearing this helmet, I've learned to set aside the instincts of a civilian and be completely professional.
They had assault guns.
Tactically, I had the advantage. It was important to act before the situation changed.
How you troopers do it, I can't imagine.
I'd absolutely need to heal myself real quick. Heal all. There. That's good enough for now, I guess.
My vest caught a few slugs, but I had a job to do, and I did it.
Amazing.
It was just blind luck that one of the terrorists was carrying orders from Lebedev.
We never would have known about the airlift if you hadn't been so courageous.
Oh, no, don't start that. Just following orders.
And we might never have recovered the shipment. It all depended on you.
Well, I was happy to do my part.
Glad one of the Dentons is gonna stick it out.
I can't believe it, JC. What got into Paul?
I guess he got a better offer.
He's got a better offer.
What a blow. I don't know how we'll recover. It's almost like losing a son.
I don't understand it myself, but we've got to go on. Is Manderley available?
Go right in, JC.
I'll let him know.
Alright, and he's a lot to discuss. Incidentally, I haven't been able to reach Jamie. If you cross paths, you mention Walter Simons is looking for him. I guess he's on break room. I'll let him know. Well, Manderley's pretty pissed.
Here, take your op bonus. 1,000. No use splitting hairs this time.
I have some bad news about Agent Navarro.
No shit. What the hell happened in there?
Lebedev. A surprise attack.
Fortunately, the other thing
I
we can't
find that
do-
hard to believe. You're digging your own grave if you cover up for your brother.
Yes, sir. I'm not covering up for Paul, sir.
Because he's gone, JC. I hope you'll understand this. The Coalition has shut down his augmentations and activated the kill switch.
Activated. What?
Some very important officials have become nervous. Nervous about Paul, but also about you.
I think I've proved myself. Can they really kill him by pressing a button?
Yes, and you too. So take these orders seriously. They're sending you to Hong Kong.
What about Paul? Will I get to see him again?
Please, just get your equipment and meet our pilot, Jock, at the helipad. You'll need to take out a man called Tracer Tong, Paul's contact in Hong Kong. Prove that they can trust you. JC?
Yes.
It's critical that they trust you.
No messages. UNATCO Handbook. Carry out the duties UNATCO agents often work with other law enforcement agencies. We remain a small elite organization. Until our rank expand, we must rely on the cooperation of local police, government, intelligence agencies, and security. Always be courageous when requesting information or filling out a tradition request, though as our jurisdiction widens, we'll eventually inevitably experience conflicts with some local officials. Do not resort to unnecessary intimidation in these situations. Please report any problems to appropriate UNATCO allies. Above all, international law enforcement requires respect and support of all participating nations.
Hell of a long ship.
To the surprise of absolutely no one, Manderley is quite happy if you took out Lebedev yourself and will reprimand you if you didn't. Here. Stuff in here is really good. In particular, this bioelectric cell, because obviously I need as many of these as I can get.
What kind of pain?
Behind the eyes, a sharp burning, almost electrical.
How's your bioelectric level?
It's always at 100%. I like to stay prepared.
That's probably it right there. Free radicals. You should charge your systems only when they've been significantly drained.
I wasn't informed of that.
It's a lot like an electric razor. If you leave it plugged in all the time, the battery loses its 0 point. Just watch your levels.
Interesting. Thanks, Doctor.
I believe
Let me know how it goes.
Modern smartphones.
I saw you listening in. Yes, it's true. I have augmentations like yours.
Don't you work down in Washington?
Actually, I'm the director of FEMA.
Sounds like you wouldn't have much use for physical augmentations.
You underestimate the demands of my work. We deal with every sort of natural and unnatural disaster you can imagine.
But you're the director. You work behind a desk.
Yeah, why would you need so
Am
many
I behind a
augmentations
desk right now? No, I'm not. That's because we have a situation here in New York. I got to my position because I can fix things. You will see shortly, because as you have probably noticed yourself, this agency is broken and needs an overhaul.
We can't deny that. I mean, we did just have a few problems.
Guess you guys found each other. Get everybody patched up?
I did my best. You're looking good.
Never felt better.
They just dropped off a few liters of the ambrosia you recovered, by the way.
Good work out there, Denton. I want you to know, we will not let your brother's activity cast its shadow on you.
Yes, sir. I'm grateful for that. I just wish we'd found out sooner.
No harm done. We have you to take his place.
Is a few liters going to be enough?
Well, no one on staff's gonna catch Grey Death this month.
Paul said UNATCO uses the ambrosia supply to influence national governments. What do you think about that?
So it's true. He went over to the NSF.
He makes some sense. I spared his boss, Juan Lebedev.
What did Manderley say?
He boxed my ears. No big deal.
I'm surprised he didn't fire you on the spot.
He gave me one more chance. I'm on my way to Hong Kong.
Good. Maybe you'll find out what's got into Paul. If there's a conspiracy, it's a VersaLife. They're the ones making money off the plague.
we are back to 100%.
What the hell were you thinking, JC?
That's a
Agent Navarro was out of line. I had no choice.
They'll have you killed. They won't even blink an eye.
Neither did I.
Neither did I.
Well, watch what you say around Manderley. Let's leave it at that. I've been in contact with Gunther, by the way. No sign of your brother at the airport.
He sure caused his share of trouble. I don't know what to think anymore.
I wonder what it is he found out. Why he'd defect.
He thinks he has proof of a conspiracy.
Wild stuff, huh? I'd like to hear what he has to say. If you hear from him, or if you find out where he is, don't worry about the info link. I'll erase the archives.
You think he's right?
Worth hearing him out. I've never known Paul to make a mistake.
The fact he's willing to listen now really is helping us out here. Don't mind if I borrow this?
Manderley was tuned in when you reached the 747. It really is all over for Paul.
Yeah, this is where I want to be. Ooh, multi-tool. I'll hack my own computer then. Get to access my email. My office. We need to talk about the last mission. In personal, not info link. Come to my office after you've been debriefed by Manderley. Getting me prod soon. Especially since I'm going for the melee build this game.
Hello, Agent Denton.
Hi, JC.
Right, I need to speak with Carter. Because I have to go back to part 3. Let's use our light augmentation to see these again. Restricted area.
Back to the same old routine. Glad one of the Dentons is gonna stick it out.
Died. It kicked.
What do you mean by overhaul?
You will receive a memo in a few days. I am still collecting data.
UNATCO was very effective this evening. We recaptured the shipment.
You don't have to worry, Agent. It's the softer elements I am after.
Like who?
You're beginning to exceed your clearance. What are you? Angel OA?
Excuse my persistence. I'll wait for the memo.
Good. Carry on.
All these one here. And Carter's all the way in the back, if I remember right.
Not much happening down here, Agent. We had to execute the prisoners.
Nasty stuff.
How are you holding up?
Not so good. I don't know who to trust anymore.
No one blames you about Lebedev. You refused an order to kill in cold blood. Precisely your duty as a UNATCO peacekeeper.
Manderley certainly does.
He'll cool down. The important thing is that you obey your conscience.
Right.
Tell me what you need, and I'll load you up.
Gep rocket.
A Gep rocket.
Like the big guns, huh? Hang on to this, baby. It's the last one I've got.
I don't need too many of these, especially for the upcoming missions. Not to worry, as nice as the tranquilizer darts are, they just aren't effective for reasons you could probably see.
On task, Agent. You better leave that asinine behavior right here, soldier. It will get you killed. I hear they're shipping you out to Hong Kong. Hate to see you go.
Quite a ways from home. Oops, here we go. Lockpicks are always good. The office goodies always refresh each time I'm in here. The game's really weird. Physics engine makes it hard to play proper basketball. But I believe the three main
So long, Agent.
Yeah, this one, Invisible War, and Human Revolution all have a part where you can try and put a basketball into a hoop, although granted it's rather difficult to get them to land in each one for completely different reasons each time, as a matter of fact. Alright then, well it's time to, I guess it's time to go. I'll probably end the stream once I reach Hong Kong.
We'll miss you, Agent. Strange you were reassigned so soon after only one day.
Yeah, that's very suspicious. Almost like they wanted to get rid of me. Very odd.
I'm taking you to New York.
My orders are to go to Hong Kong.
Your brother's in trouble. You need to meet him in Hell's Kitchen at the apartment.
What's wrong?
I'll let him speak for himself. He just wanted me to get you to the hotel.
It seems we have a slightly different mission. A slight detour, perhaps. Maybe now we can get a chance to explain himself. Alex said he'd cover us after all, so at the very least we can hear him out. Even if we don't end up siding with him. After all, look, it's all well good to want to help people, but it's also possible to make things worse.
Your brother's hurt pretty bad. You'll find him at the apartment. If he can walk, get him to come with you. I can pick you guys up in Battery Park.
Ouch. easy way into the apartment. Oh, there he is. Alright. We're gonna be getting a lot of plot revelations next time. So let's hear them out first real quick. First of all, let's turn this off. Groans.
Is this kill switch real? What's it going to do to you?
I'm afraid that's, classified.
Manderley said you're going to die. You've got to have God clearance to know. The nanites can be programmed for exponential growth. There's a chopper that can take us to Hong Kong. You know Jock? First, you're the only one that can help. I need to send the NSF distress code. UNATCO tracked Lebedev to the other NSF bases, and to Silhouette in France. Go on. UNATCO takes payoffs. Silhouette, the other terrorist groups, they're our allies. I'm prepared to believe you. I killed Agent Navarra, and I'll join you against UNATCO, but I want proof. You want proof? Pay a visit to the NSF headquarters. Down in the basement, protected by booby traps, a data cube sits on the edge of a table. My report to the militia leaders. Here, I have a photograph of the building. It's a couple blocks to the west, behind the bar. And I suppose while I'm there, you want me to encrypt the signal with the NSF transmitter, bypass UNATCO SIGINT? A lot of people could die. My friend Chad, for example, the leader of Silhouette. I'll check out the facility, but I can't promise I'll help the terrorists. Be ready to leave for Hong Kong when I get back. I'll be ready. Hey, you might check in with Smuggler too. You'll need some extra firepower if UNATCO catches you snooping around. His place is to the northwest of the hotel near the subway station. He expects the password, Bloodshot. Thanks. I can always use more hardware.
Alright, we've got a lot more things to do next time. I suppose we're going to need this. But that's going to have to be for next time. Lots of good plot revelations in this episode. But next, we're going to have to wait till next time to see where this all leads. Till then, thank you for watching. Hope you had a good time. I saved my VODs for as long as Twitch allows. If you ever need them, they'll be here. Or, if you'd rather see some of my older VODs, you can check out a link to my YouTube channel. You can find that in my About page. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.